Long Beach Memorial Day Regatta. We've got our Sabot, some of our Sabot Nationals team up here practicing for Sabot Nationals, which will be in this same spot beginning of August 2022. This is the A and the B fleet, and we have a lot of goals, but this is what we call a mock run for our team. This is a practice run for Nationals. Moving on is a big theme for us this weekend, and that is when we have races, tell ourselves what we did good, tell ourselves what we did not so good, and then move on. Another one of our goals is to look at races as two races at a time. We're trying to have a good average score. So if we get a 14th or something, we can't let it destroy our regatta. We need to think about what we did good, think about what we need to do better, and then have a better race. We can't let ourselves fall into the trap of having bad races and then letting that affect us too much. So here we go, A and B fleet, race 1 Memorial Day Regatta. These are long races. Generally the water here moves from right to left, from our right to left here, and right now, even though the tide is going out, the water is not moving, so that's great.
You're up.
One of our goals is to focus on windward marks, and when we're here and the power plant is sucking water, the windward mark just can get really gnarly. So today should be pretty easy. Very little current going right to left, making the windward mark hard, but at Nationals it's probably going to be stronger current because it's going to be hotter and the power plant's going to be sucking a lot of water. These are going to be long races. The A fleet's pretty strong. We've got a Nationals contender there, 9325. 10173 is a very good sailor, so this is going to be great for us to really just check in with these teams and make sure we figure out what works and what doesn't in light air. So now we're going to have the C1 start, I believe. Maybe it's everybody. I'm not really sure. Goals for starting were to check in and say hello. Remember that? Our team does that every time. We check in at the committee boat. Every single time we sail, say hello. Speed testing, everybody did that. We're also working on helping each other. During speed tests, talking to each other and helping each other. Hey, your lee board's not right, or your out haul, check your out haul, or you need a little vang, or hey, you were pinching a little. Whatever it is, we help each other. We want to, everything is practice except for the Dutch shoe and the Nationals. Everything is practice. And so in those things, we have to make each other better. It's obvious the boat end is favored. This end, the flag end here, is favored. So it looks like C1s, C2s, and C3s are all together. A lot of maneuvers at the end. I wouldn't suggest at Sabot Nationals. Remember, this is a pretend run for Sabot Nationals. I wouldn't plan on making a lot of maneuvers. Our goal is to set up at about 50 seconds. Probably where August is. Maybe a little further back than August. Here. She's doing great. This is good. The race committee already yelling at people when they're over. August should sit forward. It was just a world-class start. I wish I was on the side. Oh my God, look at that start. Look at her sail. She should go 1 degree lower. She should go what she's doing. But if there's any boats around you, do not outpoint anybody around you unless they're to windward like Theo is. Good start, Theo. There's an 8-year-old start right there. And Theo should just be doing what he's doing. He doesn't know he's doing it, but he's just squeezing and just hanging there with August. August is footing, which is fine. A lot of goals at this regatta. And number one goal for Sabot Nationals is we show up at the start. That first start, we got to be near the line, set up at 50 seconds, and hammer on it. Can't be late to those starts that we've trained months for. Cool. Good job, you guys. Now, downwind, we didn't talk about this morning, but let's watch that guy with the white lee board right there. You can see his outhaul is loose, and he's heeled a lot. Heeled a lot, okay? See how his boom is right out. We all got to start looking like that. Now I'm going to lose him in there. Now we are going to look at our leeches upwind on these A-fleeters. So here comes first place in race 1 for the A-fleeters. And then second, 9325. And she's trimming extra tight, but you can see her leech is hooked. She's trimming extra tight to make sure she doesn't get too low on Kingston there. And then Kingston's just staying high too. And then Olympia's just got a problem, and then she's got a C3 kid who's just straight head to wind in front of her. She should just reach off. There you go. See how Kingston gets on the other tack before he rolls his boat. Oh, Olympia's just gonna come rocket out of there. Look at that. Oh God, she's gone. She might be second. Yeah, baby. Oh, now we got an electric boat over here. This is all good, you guys. You might think, and this is a small regatta. Remember, everything is practice except for the Dutch shoe and the nationals, man. So if people cut you off, you just got to make the best of it. The best sailors see it before, and so when we get to nationals, we actually are aware of everything. Good job, you pinched off Kingston there, Olympia. Okay, I'm not going to be able to get much video here because I got my opties right here. I'm going to cut for a second. Nice. Kingston just locked in here. You can see how none of the lead sailors have high booms. So that's what I've been working on with a lot of people, not coming out here with the bottom of their mast too far back. Gotta have the bottom of the mast in the right place.
So, Flyer, my feeling is this is the third time to weather, which is the last time.
Copy that.
Oh my goodness, Olympia might be first out there on the left corner.
Okay.
No.
I also want to move it 3 houses towards...
So I wasn't able to get leech hook video here, really.
Copy that.
Then they're going to round the orange mark and come back downwind. Now, Olympia's got to worry about bad air here. Wow, this is a long video. Anyway, race 2 on Saturday. So let's see, race 1, I would have been more left to stay away from the bad air of the fleet ahead. The wind just went right, and everybody on our team except for Julia figured it out. But that's okay, Julia's down there, right? If she keeps her air clear down there, then the wind goes hard left at the top. She kills. But she did start at the unfavored end. That's okay, this is mock run practice. She looks hooked. Oh, is this Kingston? He looks hooked. But he has a lot of experience. Kosei looks perfect on the edge of hooked footing. He knows starboard is lifted right now, so he's just trying to rip it. Julia's starting to get out to leeward here. If I was her, I would have kept going because she's going to lose a bunch right here. Unless he was on her wind, but that was a big loss having to duck. Kosei should keep going here just a little longer. If you think you're going the right way today, I want you to dig in and go a little further. There's no boats up here right now blocking our wind, so we could play the middle a little bit more. Okay, so Julia looks like she's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These boats on the right did not do well. And I think that's because the right, I think starboard was lifted and going on port was headed. Rolling a little too early, guys. Gotta make sure we're letting the tiller go, getting the boat turning to the other tack, and letting the sail roll you a little bit from it slamming across. Olympia should just keep going. So anyway, this is really good racing, you guys. It's a long day. C1, C2, C3 fleet, there's still 2 flags up. You see how you got the S flag and the P flag up? So that, if you don't know the time, there's 2 flags up, so you have less than 2 minutes. And then when the P flag goes down, you know you got less than 1 minute. And this is C1, C2, C3. C1s are carrying weight, so this makes it more of a challenge here. You're sailing against C2s and C3s that don't have weights in their boats. Yep, 1 minute to go. See how there's only 1 flag up now? Good. Okay, boat end is favored, not boat end. The flag end is favored here, which is normally the boat end. And our goals were at 1:30 to look upwind. It looks like a righty to me. Port tack looks horrible. And also look upwind. I can't see any holes. And then at 50 seconds be set up. 50 seconds is our goal setup time. This is great. The race committee's just yelling the time out and talking to the kids. That's okay. August is over in there. I don't know if you see her. She needs to learn how to, she should have done a back down. Nice start by Zach, but Zach should look at his telltales, and the windward one is perfect. Good. I thought his windward telltales were flying all over. If you're in this position where you got the whole fleet to leeward, you keep that windward telltale put to bed, man. You are not, see how that luff right there, he was asking me what he needs to do better. You can't let the tiller wiggle back and forth and stuff the bow up. Every time you luff the Sabot sail, you're losing 1/10, maybe 2/10 of a knot, maybe more if you do it poorly. So flag end was favored. And he's got to look at his sail more. That's one thing. You see how he hasn't looked at his sail yet. He's got to put his windward telltale to bed. Make sure that windward telltale's not moving too much right now because he's in a controlling windward position. Here comes the A's and B's downwind. Okay, cut. So what we're trying to learn in a Sabot is how to get the top bat not hooked to windward, except for just temporary short periods of time. That looks good. So hooking the leech. Oh, good news. Good job, Julia. Rounded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now is immediately 4th because that guy tacked and parked it and went underneath everybody. She looks good. She's not hooking her leech. Probably would have kept going. That's a lot of bad air. You see, this is what we're working on, guys. You don't know it, but look at all those boats, C2, C3s. I probably would have tried to get out a little ways and let the wind settle, but she's looking pretty good. Let's see if we can see. Kingston's the one who's the most trimmed the most tight. That's a little too hooked. I wish I could get straight behind her. That looks perfect right there. 173. Good. Now look, Olympia's starting to get out in some fresh air. Now the boat's finally going to start moving. Those boats look headed on port ahead. I think she's doing good right here. That's good. Beautiful. Just really good tacks. Just try to get on the other tack without too much rudder. And then do a nice roll. Oh wow. 101.73 is back in the race. Julia looks lifted on port with power. Oh wow, this is challenging. C1, C2, C3s mixed with A fleeters in there, but what you're doing now is you're trying to keep your boat going fast down here. There's often less wind at the bottom of the course, so you got to make sure your boom is right, your outhaul's right, your heeled right, and then you look at these boats. This guy actually looks lifted a little compared to some of the angles we saw, so you're actually looking at these opties as you're coming downwind here. Everybody's on starboard tack, so port tack might be okay upwind. So that would indicate a slight left shift. So you would come around this and then go VMG angle really fast, because it's likely the next shift will be an oscillation to make starboard lifted. So you want to go fast towards the next starboard lift. Olive really got messed up around that opti. Yeah. T6 sail, so it's more full. Out, that's loose, the loosest she needs her outhaul. And that's the sail you kind of need for nationals if you're anything near 100 pounds. And good. You're not an over trimmer. But that's a powerful sail compared to the T5. So that's the difference, T6. Okay, so remember that on the runs, you're looking at the boats that are going upwind to start to see if there's a big shift coming in. Race 3, then I'm running in for lunch. The wind has gone slightly, has built a little bit. Right now it's only 1 knot up. It was up about 2 or 3 knots. This is the A and the B fleet. Race 3 starts. Again, everything we're experiencing at this event is helping us, no matter good or bad. Whether you get mixed up with C2s and C3s at a mark, everything is good. This is all building our skills here. See that? 1 rock, 1 heel. 1 rock, so flag end favored again. At Nationals, we have to know what end's favored, and we don't have to start right at it, but we definitely need to start not way away from it. Maribel. Yeah, don't start right at the boat. Do what you've been doing, but you're setting up a little too close line. Remember, 50 seconds off of the line. Don't be on the line at 50. Race 3, it's a tick windier and she looks perfect. See how she's trimming tighter now than she was before? That's what you do. When it gets windier, we're trimming tighter. Here's her sister trimming tighter. A lot of people trim too tight in light air. A lot of people have it backwards. They trim like super tight in light air and then they're too loose in breeze. That's backwards. You trim looser in light air with the traveler on a little, and you trim tighter in heavy air, maybe with the traveler down a little. Now, this is the windiest racing they've done yet. It's about 8 knots maybe in this puff. C3 start coming up, and you're looking at the opti. The only information we have right now is the wind has not changed dramatically. He's maybe headed a little bit. So this is information you guys would be finding. There's 2 flags up, the P flag and the other flag. So that means we are coming up on 1 minute. That might be obvious to you guys, but sometimes you're in a big regatta somewhere and you're not 100% sure of the time. You look to the flags. As soon as there's only that S flag up, or whatever that red-white one is, then you know you have less than a minute. We're trying to set up today at 50 seconds. Trying to set up at 50 seconds. See how they're setting up? That's good. 50 seconds, not right on the line, but close. Remember, our goals for these regattas is at 1 minute 30, we look around. We look at the starting line, where the boats are. We look for light spots, upwind, and we look and see where we think the line is going to be the best starting place. And then we head for that area, and at 50 seconds or so, we're set up on starboard. We're working on the skills that are going to work for you in big fleets in your future. good. I love it. She never really quite cleared herself, but she got really close, and the guy's like, let's go. She got really close. So that's just, I just like it when people are just working with everybody. Okay. Oh, this is good racing. Less than a minute to go before the last race. We got to remember they made the course a lot shorter for race 3 and 4 here. So that changed the tactics for the first race. In that you really had to get a decent start. If you got a bad start, it was over. You didn't have time to catch up. Oh. This is a dogfight here. This is fun. They're really practicing for nationals. Like these 3 boats, this 10173, 9325, 9403, they are top 8 at nationals pretty much 100%. So that was about 6 seconds. He was really footing down the line. Okay, that is exciting. 9823, great job. So keep watching these videos. Watch the starts 2 or 3 times really carefully on that acceleration and how people shoot or jump out off the line. Because it takes a lot of practice to be somebody who jumps out at starts like that, where you're up to speed. Okay, so this is 7 knots, maybe 8 knots. It's almost like we got to practice speed testing sitting on the rail. Look at 8906. I mean, he's on the rail leaning out. Yeah, there's Maribel on the rail, and Julia's not on the rail. Yeah, Cose's on the rail, hiking. So that's the thing. I think we got a little problem there. If you see everybody else on the rail and you're not, you're probably going too high. You're probably pointing too high. Anyway, C1, C2, C3 is going into their 4th race, last race. It's been like this all day. Who knows which tack's lifted? I think starboard looks pretty good. It's hard to tell. So it has not been a big shift day. And when you're a kid, that just makes this that much harder, and that's why we got to be out here. Because you can't detect tiny shifts unless you've been doing this a long time. So, okay, so these opties look like they're at the same angle they were on every single rounding. We got less than a minute for C1, C2, C3s.
Check and let you know. This is ABYC base up to standby.
We are trying to get ourselves, see, this is going to open up for her, but she's got to just stay high. We just talked about this. She's got to stay high. It's not a good strategy because he's right away. That was kind of perfect. She's got to be careful there. There we go. Didn't hit the flag and came right around it.
I was planning on it, thank you.
Now we can tell the boat, this flag end is further upwind because here's Theo starting 10 seconds late, and he's still doing quite, pretty good. He's behind, but he's not way behind. That a boy, let your teammate go, man. If she tacks right there, your race is going to be really bad. Now we got to look upwind. Guess who's coming downwind? So these guys should just keep Theo. That was fine. That's an 8-year-old, man. pretty perfect. I'd say Kosei right now is just a little more twisted for a second. Kosei did a good job of communicating there. Leeward boat. He didn't say starboard, he said leeward. Davey Sawyer Gibbs. I'm all cool with him coaching. I want all these guys to get good. See, I think Maribel's on a good starboard there, 103.52. I think that's a pretty good starboard angle. Looks like great wind, 9 knots. This is a mix of A's and C1s and C2s, but watch the ones that keep the heel consistent to windward. You heel to windward like this to get the center of your sail over the center of the boat. If you sail flat like this, the center of the sail is well to the left side of the boat, and that's trying to head you up. So you got to heel the boat to windward, not to get the boom higher. That's a myth. Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's to get the center of the sail lined up with the center of the boat so the boat goes straight and you're not fighting the rudder. But look at 9325, really heeled the windward, main out to 90 perfectly. And this is a tough rounding here. Wow, Zach, August having good races in there. So this is C1, C2, C3s mixed up with the top 2 of the A fleet. So Kosei's going to round second in A fleet, and he just got a little too low there, but no worries, he's fine. So look at August sailing right next to Kingston. Her boom looks about the same. Everything looks kind of the same trim. Kylie looks a little tighter on her main than the other guys. Her main's kind of wrinkly, so she's got maybe just a little too much main sheet, but God, look at her go.
Base to patient.
It's rad.
We're sending a whaler out.
I don't know. He's either second or first. Yeah, so now the theme of now, guys, is race 3 and 4 were windier, and since you guys sail by feel really well, we're just killing it, right? And when it gets light air, we gotta learn how to kill it by using the telltales more. And this is really good, using a really old sail, some old boards, and just really practicing hard. And he is just killing it right now, winning this race easily, or he's second. I don't know if that's an A fleet over there or not.
B-Barge, this is Whaler 5.
There goes August across here, C2. Vesper just needs to get on the rail, 7634.
5, go ahead.
Olive, Duck, and Kylie right there.
Yellow mark delivery.
Again, the theme of today is the wind shifts were not that dramatic. These angles are very similar to what they've been all day long.